Hey, my loves. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. It is I, your girl, Bree, and we are right back here with these spirit-driven messages. So I am starting a new segment today, April 6th, 2026, and it is called Monday Messages. These will be collective messages for all signs. So take what resonates and leave the rest. But this one is going to be a little interesting. So there's going to be some channeled messaging in here. So some of this may resonate with you and some of it may not, but if it does not, leave it for who it may, okay? Don't come for me in the comments. Keep it cute. The card pull that I had earlier was the Queen of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Star. And so with this energy, not only do I feel like the collective is actively going after what it is that they want in life, as far as goals and accomplishments, right? But the collective is also working on living in the life that they want. There's point A, point B, and point C, right? For some of you, there may be like multiple other steps beyond point C. But for today, we're just going to focus on A, B, and C. A being the past, like where you were putting together the plan, like you had the inspiration and you put the plan together. Point B, the present, like what you do leading up to the end result. And then C is the actual accomplishment, the results. And so what happens is that sometimes we tend to hyper focus on getting to the end result that we forget to live in the present. And so what does that look like? It kind of looks like frustration sometimes. Like even if you're the most optimistic person, when you feel like you're not getting anywhere towards your goals and you've invested so much time, effort, energy into getting there and you don't see the exact results that you want, it can feel frustrating. You can start feeling really down on yourself. Somewhere in the plot we're like, so like when is this gonna happen? Like what, I didn't picture it looking like this. And sometimes the universe throws us curveballs to kind of help us get real with ourselves. Like we got to focus on our why. When I made the decision to move, I made the spontaneous jump. At that time, I was working as an independent contractor full time. Then I had one of those curveballs where the money train was gone and I had to make the decision of moving back to my hometown because like I was having feelings of defeat, feelings of depression, feeling really down on myself. Like I really thought that I was doing something, like I was doing good. And not only was I doing good, I was doing it on my own. And I looked at having to move back home as like a major setback. Like I was embarrassed. When I left, I didn't have a solid plan. Free-spirited without long-term goals, long-term ambitions. Like, come on. Didn't like working under anybody, the workplace politics. I had to make a decision to go back into, like the regular world. But instead of working the traditional 9-to-5 like I thought I was going to have to go back to doing, I got blessed with an opportunity to work 12s. Never did I ever think that I would be able to contribute anything of value to anybody else. I was super lonely. I was somewhat aware of my gifts and skills, but not to the magnitude that I know now. I didn't really know myself the way that I thought I did. And what's interesting is that now that I'm looking back at everything that I went through, in me not knowing who I was or who I wanted to be, I knew that my first need was to get uncomfortable. this was a major adjustment period for me. I went from, being in the comforts of my hometown to being in a completely different city, hotel hopping. 3 months after moving to the new area, after I had signed the job offer and I started working, I had the opportunity to experience what life would be like if I lived on my own. And I'm like, oh. And I started to enjoy my solitude, being able to hear my own thoughts, and even if I needed to express them out loud. Sexy time, the sit down time with a journal and a glass of wine and some jams playing in the background, doing some writing, whether it's poetry or if it's like a regular, even if it's short journal entry. I enjoyed that. Picking up a good book to read in silence, I enjoyed that. So I started taking like the little things into consideration that I get to enjoy at my leisure. I say all of this to say that you can literally do anything that you want to. At first, I didn't think that I could do it, and that's what kept me stuck for so long. But when I took the first plunge and I realized that I could tread water, it started opening up a new world of possibilities for me. I didn't even know that any of the opportunities were possible or that they even existed. My loves, it is later in the evening and your girl had to get some sleep. She was just coming off of her work weekend. But I said all of that to say that you can literally do anything that you put your mind to. Anything that you want to achieve, you can do it by embodying the Queen of Pentacles energy. Whatever it is that you set out to achieve, and there has to be a plan backing it up. So get inspired, write it down, make a plan, give it to God, source, whoever you go to for spiritual refinement, and then take that leap. And if you're further along in your journey and you have acquired the things that you've wanted to achieve, and you're wondering where to go next with the Chariot energy, start somewhere. And everything else will work itself out over time. Don't focus too much on these specific details. It'll happen naturally. So my loves, this has been the Monday message. I love you so much. Take care.